My top three things are Paul, Paul, and Paul.
Oh! Oh! Paul, whoa!
Paul is my favorite part of this show.
What the hell? I think we got to start every episode with that commentary from our number one fan, or Paul's number one fan, Christine Lumens. Welcome, everybody. This is episode 47 of the Six Nutz Podcast. I'm your host, Dave, the irrelevant Dave, joined by Jordan Angus and the most popular Paul Bourgon. Gentlemen, we're going to change the name of this podcast to the Paul Bourgon Podcast. What's going on, gentlemen?
Not much. Just, just let my head swell up more and more and more.
Yes, sir. That happened a couple of weeks ago on our most recent live podcast. This is episode 47. Before we get started, make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel. Follow us on Instagram. You can see all the information right there below Paul Bourgon's chin. So make sure you check us out. Like, subscribe, comment, follow, all that good stuff. You know what? We got another big episode coming up. We got Hold My Beer. We're going to do Would You Rather. But you know what? We got a huge announcement to make. We got episode 50 is going to be live. I'll put the graphic up. March the 9th. Sunday, March 9th, 7 p.m. We're going to be celebrating episode 50 live with some special guests. We got a lot of great stuff, a lot of great people coming by. Gentlemen, are you excited for episode 50? Can you believe it? 50 episodes in.
I'm going to get super drunk.
Are we going to make it like a drinking episode?
I think we should. I think Monday's going to suck for us, but yeah, I think we should.
We should like play like a drinking game. Whenever every time we play that, we'll play Christine Lumens Admiring Paul. Every time we play that, we got to take a shot. We'll play it like every 5 minutes.
Oh, a shot? Oh.
Anyway, before we get into what we want to talk about, Saturday Night Live. Are you guys fans of Saturday Night Live?
Yes.
They had the 50th anniversary episode this past weekend. So we're going to talk about Saturday Night Live.
I missed it.
Yeah, I missed it as well, but a lot of things I want to bring up and talk to you guys about. But first, let's get to some important business. We start every show, man, with this episode, with this segment. It's called Hold My Beer.
You're watching Six Nutz Podcast, and this is how I hold my beer.
Yes, sir. We got to get Aiden on here one of these times.
Oh, I'm sure he'd love to come on. He'd probably be super nervous, but I think he would love to just show up.
Yeah, we got to get him on. He was in that new intro, Hold My Beer. This is a segment where we go around the virtual room, introduce our beverage of choice. And January was pretty dry for Jordan, so he's pumped to do this one. So, Jordan, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, man. I was on the phone with these guys a lot today, so I didn't really go out to the store to get any new beer. I still have a lot of beer in the fridge. So I got Moran's Rito Red Amber.
Nice.
Last time we had that was when they sponsored our episode. So probably my favorite amber. Yeah, it still tastes good.
Nice. Still tastes good. Let's have that rating.
Okay, regular rating, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. On the amber scale, though, I'd give it a 9.2 out of 10.
9.2. That is outstanding.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. The audience loves it.
It's a pretty good rating.
That's a great rating. All right. So that was Morin. Paul Bourgon, let's go down to you, your beverage of choice.
Never heard of this beer before in my life, but it's Japanese. It's a dry beer. It's called Asahi.
Oh, Japanese.
Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Acai. My buddy Craig gave it to me. And I'm like, oh man, could I take that? Like, he's like, yes, you podcast, just take it. You guys heard of this? You ever heard of this
I
beer?
have, yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know if you're gonna like it.
Oh shit, really, eh?
You might.
He's French kissing it. He's French kissing it.
It's not bad. Not
Yeah.
bad at all. Where have you been my whole life? That Simpsons episode where Barty like first time he ever tries a beer, he's all clean cut, you know, and then like he takes a sip of beer and immediately grows 5 o'clock shadow. Where have you been my whole life? I like it. It's actually really good. Give it an 8.001.
8.001. Let's go. All right. So the other Japanese beer you've had is Sapporo. So how would you compare that to Sapporo?
I like it more. I like it more than Sapporo.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I love Sapporo. It's one of my favorite beers. So I might. What is it called? Azura?
Asahi.
Asahi. Okay.
Or as a high. No.
As a
Asahi. Asahi.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll have
Very
to
hard to pronounce.
Yes. Yes.
And
All right.
those are Japanese viewers.
Yes, sir. All 17 Japanese viewers.
Yeah.
I'm going with. I've had these guys' beer before. It's the Flying Monkeys, and this one's called
Juicy ass.
Juicy
You definitely-
Ass. Yeah,
God, I hated that one.
yeah. So it's described as lots of hops, man.
A citrusy
Fresh, verdant.
IPA.
Yep. I have a feeling I'm going to despise it, but you know what? I do it for the show, man. Here we go.
Tastes like ass sweat.
Tastes like ass sweat.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go with I'm gonna give this one probably a 3.
Yeah, that's pretty generous.
Strat, yeah, I'll give it a flat 3. I think it's horrible.
Who makes it, Dave? Like who's it by?
Terrible. It's by Flying Monkeys Brewery. Flying Monkeys Craft Brewery out of Barrie. They're out of Barrie, Ontario. Well,
the label looks nice.
The can is beautiful. That's why I bought it. I mean, the can is outstanding. But my suggestion to Flying Monkeys is keep the beer in Barrie. I don't like it. It's terrible. 3 out of 10. So I won't give that. Well, I'll give it enough.
The can, like what the can looks like, you know. I'll just wait for that clapping to stop.
All right, settle down, audience. All right.
The marketing that they put into beer, it's either a commercial, you know, where it's you know, cool people hanging out, you know, sitting in Adirondack chairs, right? Or it's what the can looks like. You know, there's no other real way to attract the eye, kind of thing. You know, so they fooled you.
They fooled me. It's like I'm like a child in the cereal aisle. You know, you buy the flashiest thing. The art is kind of like Jeff Davis, the art that he does for Poor Boy. You know, that kind of caricature art.
Yeah,
it's kind of like it's got Jeff Davis vibes on this can.
Yeah, like some cans can just this is just a gray can with just the black writing, you know.
Yeah.
And that as well might spark your eye. Like, oh, I'm used to, you know, multicolored, you know, flashy cans, and then you see that, and you're like, what's that all about? So I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going with that, but yeah. For all you beer companies out there, don't trust my marketing techniques. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. By the way, I made all that stuff up there, so. Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant. It's like I mentioned the children's cereal. If you go walk down any aisle, man, all the flashy stuff is rated eye level for kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, your kid. I've had my kid bug me for cereal, and I've had to say no.
That's why
they're crying, screaming.
Chocolate bars are like at your hip level, right? At the at the cash or whatever. Like they always put it there just for children, I guess.
Yep.
I'm always like, I gotta bend over to get these chocolate bars now.
Yeah. I thought it was just easier access to stuff them in my pocket, you know. So.
Yeah. Well, you know, Paul, you live close to an IKEA,
I
And,
do.
and we're getting way off topic here, but
Or we're
IKEA
getting way on
design-
topic. Yeah.
Or way on. We're probably going to go full circle and come back to Saturday Night Live.
Guys, just one
From
second.
IKEA.
Stop! Yeah, it's just the cat. Yeah, anyway, keep going.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
So IKEA, the way they're designed, man, you have to walk 17 miles to actually travel like 10 feet. And you got to go buy every single product, and then you got to go buy the food at the end. And you actually can't find your way out. So you could probably get lost and spend a week at IKEA and spend more money.
Well, at least you have
Eat
somewhere to
more
sleep
food.
and take a shower, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sit and read a book. Yeah.
All right. So Saturday Night Live, you guys were big fans. I was a huge fan. They recently had the 50th episode. 50 freaking years this show's been around. And I did some research. I looked up the original cast. 1975 it started. Can you guys name the original cast? There were 9 people in the original.
Dan Aykroyd,
Oh, Dan Aykroyd, yes, was one
Chevy
of them.
Chase.
Chevy Chase, yep.
Was Candice Bergen?
Jordan, are you too young to remember this?
No, I actually have a relation to Dan Aykroyd, so I knew Chevy Chase, I knew Dan Aykroyd, but I wasn't really an SNL person.
Okay.
I preferred Mad TV, to be honest with you.
Mad TV, yeah. Or In Living Color was really good too.
That was a good
That
one
was
too.
great.
Yeah.
Or
All right.
SCTV, man, because I'm Canadian.
Yeah. Yes, we're anti-American now.
Yeah.
So we had Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, Jim Belushi,
Yeah, Jim Belushi. John Belushi?
Jim.
Jim?
Or was
Isn't
it John?
Isn't Jim his brother? James?
forget.
I'm thinking James.
I thought it was Jim. Jim was the first one.
Isn't it John?
I don't know. Belushi, one of the Belushi brothers.
One of you guys yeah, we gotta Google that right now. Yeah,
I
it's
can't
Belushi.
Google it.
I think it's John. I think it was John Belushi.
We'll take your word for it. George Coe was on the original cast. Jane Curtin,
Jane Curtin.
Garrett Morris,
Garrett Morris, yeah.
Lorraine Newman, Gilda Radner,
Gilda
and
Radner, that's the one I was trying to think of.
Michael O'Donoghue. That was the original cast.
Yeah.
The first ever show was hosted by who? Very famous comedian.
George Carlin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
And the musical act, of course, was Janice Ian and Billy Preston. Have no idea who they are.
I tried to watch Saturday Night, the movie that just came out about it.
Okay.
And like, again, we're talking about someone who like watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure like 3 times in one day. Like I'll watch anything, right? And I love Saturday Night Live, but I tried twice to watch it. I just couldn't get into it, kind of thing. It had its funny parts to it, but I just there was something about it that just didn't click with me.
Well, it got really shitty for a lot of years. It was really good for a while, and then Saturday Night Live took a dip.
Yeah,
And I haven't watched it for a long, long time, so I can't tell you if it's good or not.
it's still kind of tough to watch, but I mean,
Is it?
you know, I think it's that kind of cyclical thing. You know what I mean? Like when you have cast members that are there for a while, it picks up, and then or sorry, when they first come on, it's sort of slow, I guess, because I mean, I don't know if it's different for them to work together or what, but I remember when Will Ferrell came on. Like I remember seeing the first skit that he did, and I remember thinking right away, like, oh my god, this guy's hilarious. Like, who is this guy? And I think it's very rare that happens, where you get cast members like that just pop immediately. Like Kate McKinnon was awesome when she came out. I'm sure Chris Farley too. Like, I mean, I was
Oh
around.
my God, he was funny.
Yeah, like I fell in love during that time. Like, the Chris Rock, Adam Sandler,
David Spade was there.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to stay up, that late. Like sometimes I'd record it and then like play it the next day, kind of thing. And
Yep.
I used to call it Sunday Day Taped. Yeah.
Yeah, great show, man. I remember in high school
Yeah.
that was the talk of the school. Like on Monday morning, you'd all gather and talk about who was on Saturday Night Live and
Yeah.
talk about the skits. It's really funny. But Jordan, you mentioned you were not into Saturday Night Live. You were more into Mad TV and In Living Color, where Jim Carrey was.
Yeah. I loved Jim Carrey growing up, and to see, especially with my background, you have all these black actors, and then you got that one white guy, and just the fact that they treated him like family. It was very more. The thing I hated about Saturday Night Live, there was some sketches that I loved and thought it was hilarious, but what takes me out of it is when you can see them reading the cue cards, and then it's like, I'm just like, okay, fuck, I'm done. Like, I can't. And I get it. You have a lot of stuff to memorize, and there's a lot of moving parts. But when you're like, oh, and what's next, Jerry? And you're trying to read everything, wiggling, I just can't. You've taken the sketch away from me at that point. Yeah. That's why I liked In Living Color or Mad TV, because it seemed more natural. And I get, like, Saturday Night Live is done live in front of everybody, and those other shows were taped off to the side, but I felt like that was a lot better. I looked more forward to those than the Saturday Night Live, where, I mean, any fuck up could happen, I guess,
Yeah.
I do have
usually the best part, like when the cast would start laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that didn't often happen on Mad TV, I know.
No, and I don't know. It's funny every once in a while to have somebody break, but like, what is it? Jimmy Fallon breaks all the fucking time.
Oh God,
yeah.
Pete Davidson's another one. Like,
who?
Pete Davidson. Yeah, exactly. Who? You don't know?
No, I don't know that guy. No, I don't.
Shit. Okay. Well, it's weird, but he was on for a long time.
That's weird, but he's been on. Yeah, it's very weird. Yeah, Pete Davidson, comedian. Like, come on.
He's banged all the hot chicks in Hollywood.
There you go, man.
Skeet, Kanye West, after he was done with Kim Kardashian, and then Pete Davidson was with Kim Kardashian. That's the guy who was after Kanye.
No, I have no clue who you're talking about, man.
That's okay. That's
right over my head. Well, see, hey, in terms of like pop culture, man, like I'm still living in like the '90s, man. I have no, the young kids talk about these stars. I'm like, who the hell's that? Like,
do you know Andy
I'll admit it.
Do you know Andy Samberg
yes.
at least?
Yeah,
okay, so like, that'll probably be the Lonely Island skits were funny, like.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah,
they're great. If you guys have, Crave, there's a like a Lonely Island kind of. It's like I wouldn't say it's a short, but it's like a half hour, like 40-minute. I don't even like mockumentary. It's called 7 Days in Hell.
Okay, I've heard of this. Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's so good. Like, it's so good. I clicked on it just because I was like, what is this? And it's one of those you strike gold. It's Andy Samberg and Kit Harington from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And they're like two of the most famous tennis players in the world, and they play like a 7-day-long tennis match with each other. And it's just two completely different people, but it's man, is it ever good. If you like Andy Samberg, if you like Lonely Island, if you like that style of comedy, I recommend it so much. It's so funny.
Would you guys believe it if I told you I've never seen 1 second of Game of Thrones? I'm serious, man. I've never watched 1 single second, and I have no desire to.
So many of my
does that make me like a loser?
Go over your head when I'm like, this is gold, and I like, I'll text you guys something like, how about that one time in Castaway when Helen Hunt only waited 2 years to have a kid, and you're like, who? I'm just so frustrating.
All right, I got to explain something to you. I've had a kid. So for the last 17, 18 years, my life has been no Sunday football, no pop culture. It's been like the Wiggles. It's been Caillou. It's been Thomas the Tank. It's been all that stuff.
But so
that's my reference point.
But he's been like 12 for like over 12 for how many years now? He wasn't watching the Wiggles.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what are you watching Wiggles at 13?
Yeah.
Sounds to me like you're watching Wiggles.
Yeah.
You know what? I like a good Wiggles show, man.
Yeah, and
I've seen the Wiggles live 3 times, man. I will say that they are like some of the best musicians on the planet. I'm sorry. I will not apologize, man. The Wiggles. Hey, man, the Wiggles
Well,
are it.
they're like our, well, I'd say my version of Sharon, Lois, and Bram.
Fucking love Sharon, Lois, and Brand. Yeah, Stimmery, Dinky, Dinky, Dink.
Man,
Those
one of
are
my
shit.
buddies. I was over at a buddy's house a couple months ago for dinner, and he's got like two really young kids. One's not even a year old. The other one's like 2 years old, and toys everywhere and like strollers and stuff. Like and the iPad out and just like just constantly playing on one or the other, right? And so he shows me on the iPad this children entertainer that he just puts on and hands to the kid and they're like they're in awe, right? And this like whoever, I can't remember the name of the guy. It's some guy. He goes like, then we're gonna walk down the hall and then we're gonna go in the bathroom. It's just stuff like that. He dresses up like a clown, and it's got 20 billion hits on like 20 billion, like 20 and a B next to it, like
Yep.
and it's just like I pictured family. It's not like every single person in the world watched it, like 3 times or whatever.
No.
It's just there's just I don't know, 250,000 kids have watched it 25 million times each.
Well, for the number of times you watch your favorite movies, Paul, kids are watching the Wiggles, and I gotta tell you, man, like Teletubbies and all that crap I watched and you guys will get there one day. If you guys ever have kids, you will understand. You will say goodbye to your life as you know it for like 20 years. Okay? I didn't watch NFL football on Sundays for like 15, 20 years. Because, on Sunday, hey, I don't have time to watch football, man.
Yes,
I was
you
coaching
do.
hockey. I do now. But, I was coaching him in hockey and all kinds of activities and stuff like that. So, man, you don't know. You give up your life, basically. So, if you want to have kids,
That's
Wow,
what I
that's
hear.
nice
That's what I hear. You
children.
know what it's like, man. You don't know what it's like. Like, hey, have you ever seen Pee Wee's
you
Big
don't.
You don't know what it's like, man. Like, you don't know what it's like. Well, I mean, I have a cat. I kind of can relate,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if your cat sits there and watches the Wiggles for like eight hours a day, 7
No,
days
my
a week,
cat sits there
I'll
and watches
understand.
me for 8 hours. Like, it's 300 times worse.
I've trained the cats to watch football. Just saying, if I can train a cat to watch football, you can train a kid to watch football.
Oh yeah. Good luck with that, man. Good luck with that.
Tell me you've seen Pee Wee's Big Adventure, though, like the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it like 100 years ago, and I've got this friend who's like always referencing, he references a line from a movie and he goes, "Don't you know what that is?" I'm like, "No." Well, it's from like whatever movie from 1994. I'm like, "Okay, I saw it in 1994, dude."
Oh man,
how am I supposed to remember a friggin' line
people
from-
so well? Like I get along
Jesus
with them.
Christ.
Oh, gosh.
Or he'll reference a movie, and if I haven't seen it, he's like, "Are you serious? You haven't seen?" And he gets angry. I'm like, "Take a pill, buddy. Just because I haven't seen a movie that you've seen. Relax, man."
Yeah, it's hard
this
for
a
us
pet
guys.
peeve? This is
It's
a
hard
pet
for us
peeve
movie
episode.
guys. We think we're dropping a golden reference, to whatever the situation is, and I don't know.
Well, you're wasting your references on me, man. I'm sure they're friggin' fantastic references, but they're wasted on me, man. So
I did have somebody drop like a movie reference on like a newer like movie within the past like year and a half, and I had no I was like, I don't know, and he kind of did that, right? And I'm like, I have 3 jobs, okay? I don't have
Yeah, exactly.
time.
You don't know what it's like, man. You don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All my
Oh my
free
God.
There's
time,
nothing
I
like
watch sports.
there's nothing like if I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer. That'll hit.
That's a
It has to.
classic, though. That's a classic.
I think I mentioned this before. I was talking to this girl once at a bar, and her friend was like making out with my buddy, and she was just standing there, kind of thing. And I was like, I'll just chat her up, you know. And it wasn't anything. I wasn't pursuing anything. I was just talking to her, and she said something. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but she said something about her job, about how she works with like veterans, you know, the disabled veterans and stuff. And I was like, oh, like, you know, who were you working on today? And she's like, a guy that had his legs blown off. I'm like Lieutenant Dan.
Ooh.
And she's like, who? And now this girl's like 35, 36 years old. And she's like, who? I'm like Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump. She's like, I've never seen it. And I was like, in my head, I heard the Price is Right. You know, when somebody goes over like, beep, beep, beep,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, you've never seen Forrest Gump? You know, Dear Diary. Today I met someone who hadn't seen Forrest Gump. Yeah, I know.
Okay, but you know what? In fairness, I've seen Forrest Gump, and I still wouldn't know what reference you're talking about, because I don't remember like every. I'm sorry, man. I don't remember lines. Like if it's an iconic line, okay, I'll remember it. But I see a movie, great. It's good movie. I move on. I don't remember like every single line. So
okay, well,
I guess it's me. Maybe I was dropped on my head too many times as a kid.
I'm box breathing right now, just to like calm myself down.
Paul's getting mad. I can see Paul's raging right now. How can you not remember a line from Forrest Gump?
This girl had never seen it, you know? Like,
yeah.
That's when you go. That's when you play the move. Oh, we should watch it sometime. Unless you weren't interested.
Right there. That like, if you haven't seen Forrest Gump, you're
That's
not
a deal
gonna like,
breaker.
you're not
what?
like, you aren't gonna like. There's
is a
so
deal
many
breaker.
pathways to go from that like that make my personality. And like, I'm not saying I watched Forrest Gump and it changed my life, but if you haven't seen like Ace Ventura, if you haven't seen Dumb and Dumber, if you haven't seen, you know, like Shawshank Redemption, it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? It's even if you can't reference it, that's fine.
But
right?
you have to have at least seen it once.
Yeah, like
You
you
know?
had
Like,
to.
I mean,
I've seen
Shawshank
it.
Redemption has been
Yeah.
on TV multiple times. I'm sure somebody has caught it.
Yeah, like where were you when the whole world was saying it's the best movie ever made? Like, what were you doing?
Like I know like life is like a box of chocolate. Like I know that quote and you know the obvious ones, but outside of that, like
Life
I've
is
seen
like
the
a
movie,
box
but
of chocolates. You always know what you're going to get if you have that little legend there that tells you what the chocolates are.
so Paul, if the perfect woman came into your life, like perfect woman, and she hadn't seen Forrest Gump, is that grounds for like you can't go any further with this woman?
I actually what I was talking about, I was like, you had my curiosity. Now you've got my attention. That's another reference from Django. But I was like, like I got to figure out why. Like I got to find out, like, you know, were you living in like Rwanda, you know, up until like, did you just get here today for, you know, like I was like curious, right? But she was just a normal person, what it seemed like. But it's just bizarre.
So
Low-key-
that's a no go, right?
Serial killer. Low key, she was a serial killer.
It's not that it's a no go. It's just I'm old enough now to know that you're not gonna like me if you haven't seen that movie. What else have you not seen? And Dave, like if I had to date you, like the amount of references that you don't get, like there'd be so many fights. There'd be so many arguments. And then what would happen is I'd be like, okay, let's just watch it, Dave. And like, come on, put your phone down. And you'd go, all right. And then I'd play it. And like the credits would be going, and you'd be on your phone, you know, while it's watching. And I'd be like, "Do you see that? Do you see this scene?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, I'm watching."
I am not a phone guy. Like, and that's one thing.
I'm making a joke, like you know, like it would bother me if you weren't as interested in it as I am. Like I tried to watch Bloodsport with my ex once, and like I just turned it off. Like, no, I'm not doing this. And like so many of my friends, we laughed about stories where we've tried to watch like. They've tried to watch their favorite movie with their girlfriend at the time.
It's heartbreaking.
Oh yeah, it's heartbreaking. Because you it's like I love you and I love this movie. So you two are gonna love each other. You know?
but they don't.
It's not. It doesn't necessarily work out like that, right? And it's different from like bringing one of your friends, like to meet another one of your friends, like try to mix them, and like they're you know they're polite, and they they'll mingle or whatnot, but like when it's your favorite movie, like it could be such a letdown. It's literally heartbreaking. Like I can feel it in my body right now.
Big time. Like, you know what? I'm the same way. Like when I'm watching something that really means a lot to me with my wife or my son, and they're on their phone. They're not even giving a shit. I know I know how you feel, man.
What's your favorite movie,
Paul,
Dave?
if I was dating you, I have faked interest in Teletubbies episode 42 for 35 straight times. And I look like I'm interested. So if we're sitting down to watch a movie, Paul, and we're dating, I will be interested in the movie. I promise you.
See, you just got yourself to another date right there.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna call you again.
You never do, though. You never do. That's the problem, Paul.
Because I just dropped
you
you
never
off.
call.
Like I just dropped you off.
I'm sorry.
At least let me fart.
Too clingy,
I like the
Dave.
day after phone call, and you know that. You know I like that. But still, you don't give it to me.
Stop trying to change me, okay? we all get
I
like
hear my wife
we all
calling
get
me.
actually
My wife-
bad now because we're like we're having flashbacks of people we dated. You fucking knew that bothered me, and I fucking told you not to do it, and you fucking did it anyway.
Paul, I got one more thing to say to you. If you ever take food off my plate without asking, you ever do that again? I'm not watching Forrest Gump.
Dave, you know that
way.
I'm the guy that puts food on your plate.
Oh my God. That
And
is
we move on.
classic. So are we still on for tomorrow, Paul?
I mean, I think we're on for tonight. After that line I just dropped.
I am here
Oh
for
my
this
God.
toxic relationship.
Yeah.
I am here for it.
Dave's gonna get a "you up" text real soon.
My God. I think my wife just opened the basement door and said, "What is going on down there?"
Who are you talking to?
Paul, Jordan's mediating.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm just
You
the
know-
couples therapist.
What would this podcast be like if we were in person in the same room right now? Would we be going at it?
I think you two would be making out. I
Yeah.
think you two would be making out, and I would be cucking it in the corner.
No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. You didn't hang up.
Uh,
The bastard actually hung up.
I don't know where to go with this. Should we move on to Would You Rather?
I think we should.
You know what, Paul? Paul, give me your top 5 movies, and I'll tell you if I've seen them or not.
That's difficult to say.
Or both of you. You can both give me
Top 5
movies.
comedies, top 5 action, top 5 drama. I think I'll give you my favorite movie of all time would be Bloodsport. Like, peep the shirt.
Never seen it. I've not seen it.
Peep the shirt.
That's a nice looking shirt.
Yeah, it's Van Damme from Bloodsport.
I've not seen Bloodsport.
I think that would be my favorite movie. Like that, I just would put it in front, but it's a difficult question to answer, right? Because
What about just movies that you think I should have seen by now? And I'll tell you if I've
movies
seen
that I
them.
think you should have seen. Bloodsport.
Haven't seen it.
Okay, well then watch that 5 times.
Look at Jordan. Jordan's shaking his head.
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
what movies you haven't seen, right? So, excuse me, and I don't want to go down this road right now because I don't want to break out into sweat. But like now that your kid has moved out, I think you should be spending the majority of your free time watching movies.
Yes, I agree.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not writing. I'm not writing anymore.
Fuck comedy. You gotta watch
Fuck
movies.
comedy. I gotta watch movies. That's probably why I suck as a comedian, is I haven't watched enough movies.
You don't have enough pop culture references to go in with your jokes. Audiences love pop culture references. That's why my Karate Kid bit kills all the time, especially with the older demographic. They're
I
like,
watched Karate Kid 3. I watched Karate Kid 3 like 3 nights ago.
yeah, it's an
I've
amazing
seen them
film.
all. I've seen them all, but the last time it wasn't last night that I saw the last movie. It's probably
on
a long
like
time ago.
every fucking long weekend. Either that or Star Wars. The Karate Kid or Star Wars.
I have no interest in Star Wars. Zero.
I watched so many movies.
Look at Jordan.
That it's at the point, like I've noticed it's at the point where anytime someone brings up a movie or what, like sometimes they're like super obscure. Within a week, I've watched them. Like most times, it's within a couple days I've watched that movie. But like it's just the trials and tribulations of a only amateur comedian. Like what else do you do with your time? Seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Yeah, it's 100 years ago.
I want to say the first. I was talking about it with my buddy there the other day. I was like, the first hour and 37 minutes of that movie are so amazing. It's like an hour and 40 minutes long. But I can't get.
When I've seen a movie, there are very few movies where I feel the need. I need to see this again and again and again. Like Goodfellas is one. If it's on, I will watch. I've seen that movie so many times. A Few Good Men is another one. But if it's not like, if it doesn't really grab me, I've seen it once. Great.
Few Good Men and one shitty woman.
What's that?
A Few Good Men and one shitty woman. I was like looking at some movies today, and I was like, look, just by the name of the movie, trying to come up with my own like idea of what the plot of the movie was. Like 50 Shades of Grey was on, and I'm like, it's about a bunch of people who are all colorblind.
It would be a much more interesting movie if it was.
Yeah. Like, I was just like, coming up with my own plot to these movies.
I fucking hate that movie.
I've never seen it.
Don't. It's such a bad movie. It basically it idolizes a man who's narcissistic, and a woman thinks she can change him. And that's what the whole plot is that the man is getting changed. So you're giving that false ideology that a woman can actually change a narcissistic man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
And I just want them to watch Star Wars Episode 5, the greatest movie of that like era.
Of the 50 Shades of Grey era?
No, of all time. Star Wars Episode 5. I have to watch your fucking smut movie.
Of the Star Wars.
Star Wars, it's Episode 5. You don't have to watch any others. Just watch 5. 5 is.
But you'll watch it and you'll watch the movie. But then when you put on Star Wars, you'll hear this. Like,
fucking
this.
TikTok.
You'll hear this.
Yep.
That's the nail on the screen scrolling. What are you doing? I'm just checking the weather in other cities.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But this is the part that Luke just fucking wanted.
It's so disappointing. It's so disappointing.
It's annoying. That happens a lot with some people I know. I won't mention who they are, and then they ask, well, what happened? Or what's happening? I'm like, it's right on the screen, man. You watch it. That's punch in the faceable. Anyway, this might be the last episode of this podcast of all time, because
I'm pretty sure we have things.
Jordan's like,
50,
what the fuck? You can just sense the dripping disappointment in Jordan and Paul with the lack of pop culture knowledge.
Oh, Dave.
All right, let's get
John
to
Wick. Fuck.
John Wick. Fuck. What is that?
Just John Wick. Have you seen John Wick?
It's time for Would You Rather.
Oh, fuck.
Would you rather? Jordan,
Haven't
what's wrong,
seen
man?
John Wick.
What's wrong, Jordan?
Haven't?
Dave.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
no.
Man, that's so good. It's such a good movie.
I've not seen it. Where do you guys find the time to watch these movies?
A friend forced me to watch this movie, and I can't ruin it. I can't. But the beginning, like 10 minutes, had me hooked, and I had to watch the whole thing. It was really good.
All right.
I had no interest. I was like, yeah, okay, it's Keanu. Oh, look at me, I'm Keanu Reeves. I'm a really nice human being, but I act the same in all my films. But
All right,
it's a really good
I will
story.
add that to my list of
We gotta
movies
get
to
off.
watch.
We gotta get off this topic and move on.
Yeah, it's making you mad too, Paul.
All right, here we go. Would you rather? We'll start with Jordan. Here it comes up on the screen. Would you rather, after his last wrestling match, lick Andre the Giant's belly button or his armpits?
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. I think I'm gonna go with belly button. Yeah, I don't know. He's got big armpits, man. I don't remember if he shaves them.
You
but
think his belly button's small?
No, but I don't know. Maybe can I put a vodka shot in his belly button?
Oh, fuck.
You can do whatever you want.
I'll put a vodka shot in it. At least there's a purpose. Armpits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you can't put a shot in his armpit. And
probably
I
put
would
a
imagine he
stick.
does not shave them.
No, I wouldn't think
Maybe
so.
he does. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. So you're going to lick his belly button with a vodka shot.
Yeah.
I like it. Paul, you're the Andre the Giant. I'm not going to say you're an expert, but you have a couple of jokes about him. And you would like to see part of his anatomy. So
I don't want to see his. I do want to see his dick.
Yeah, I want to see it. I need to know.
How dare you say that I? Yeah, actually, I do. I'd say his. I gotta go armpit because the belly button apparently is the dirtiest part of your body.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently it's the dirtiest.
I've heard that too.
Yeah,
I've heard
my bastard of a nephew won a huge bet. I'm like, I'll bet you $100. He's like 14 years old, eh? I'm like, really? Because you're gonna pay me. You're gonna pay me. He's like, I'll bet you right now. And like shook hands. We're in the pool, my sister's pool. I'm like, it's not the belly button. And he's like full blown shake. Prick. I googled it. I'm like, oh shit. I look up. I'm like, how'd you know that?
Oh,
It's a shit-eating grin on his face, eh? But yeah, apparently the belly button is the dirtiest part of your body.
I would assume the butthole.
No, apparently your belly button's dirtier than your butthole.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty shocking. So you're going to lick the armpit.
Yeah.
Do you know, Paul, if he has an innie or an outie?
I mean, at that point, like you have an innie. Even if you have an outie, like 550 pounds are covering it. I used to have an outie, and then I discovered pizza. Now I'm in it.
Oh, so well, based on that, I'm going to go with Paul. I'm going to lick the armpit. If that's true,
It is.
if the belly button is the dirtiest
Trust
part
me,
of the body.
It's true.
Can I rescind
Okay.
my comment?
Nope. It's online now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't change your answer. I'm sorry. This is a very strict game show. All right, so we had 2 armpits and a belly button. All right, Paul, we'll start with you on this one. This is a really weird one. Not like they're all weird. Would you rather perform a striptease on Parliament Hill on Canada Day or in a yard full of prisoners at a maximum security prison?
Am I in jail?
Good
Or
question.
am I just
I
visiting?
don't know. Let's say you're just let's say you're in jail. You're in jail.
Okay, then Canada. Then
No, you're just visiting. Just visiting.
that changes the
You're
answer.
just visiting.
That changes the answer. I would say. I would say jail.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, they're secluded to jail. Like no one else is gonna find out. Like Canada Day, it would be like, you'd have everybody's phone out kind of thing, and you know what I mean. It would go a lot further than that, I think. So I think it would just stay in the jail, not unlike the gaping hole my butthole would be, But
exactly.
I'm gonna go with jail.
All right, Jordan.
I'm going to use my expertise on this one and say I would rather do a striptease on Parliament Hill because I don't want to be doing that in front of a bunch of horny prisoners who haven't had sex in a long time. And the whole point of a striptease is to turn people on. So I'm gonna at least be safe about it and go to Parliament Hill where I have a chance of being escorted away from the premise instead of butt fucked by Big Bubba.
Yep. I'm gonna
You're
go with
like
you, Jordan.
Your visitors passes around your deck. And you're using that to like add it to your.
Yep. That's a good point, Jordan, and you've swayed my answer to go with I'm going to strip on Parliament Hill because there's security on Parliament Hill. There's no security in a prison yard, and I don't want to be raped. I don't think I would like the experience of being raped. I'm sorry. Well, not by a prisoner anyway.
I don't think I'd like the experience of being raped. Said no one ever.
Not by a prisoner. Not by a male prisoner. All right, let's go with this last one.
I think we're all prisoners, when that happens. Anyway, keep going. Let's just not talk about it.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll start with this last one. Would you rather live to be 100 years old with no money or have unlimited money but will die in 30 days? I'm going to go... I'm going to have unlimited money but will die in 30 days. Because I will use that money to get life-saving treatment and live on. So there you go.
You're gonna die though.
I won't. I will not die because I'll have so much money that I will prevent my death.
What are you loopholes? Well, then if I'm in jail, then I'm gonna say that I've got a bear claw trap on my butthole.
Yeah.
I'd pick jail, but I've also got a sandpaper for a butthole.
Yeah. Try to fuck me now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Paul, what about you?
I would go because I know what it's like to be poor. So I would go to 100 because if I had unlimited money, I would definitely die in 30 days. like if I had unlimited money, I would change the course of mankind. Like probably not for the better. Even though I would try to, but if I had unlimited amounts of money, it would be good. It would be a bad situation.
Hookers and blow.
Pizza fed to me by Brad Pitt, and that's it. That's all I spent my money on.
All right. So which one did you pick? I can't remember now.
I would pick the live to be 100. Yeah.
All right. Jordan, to you.
I do not want to live till I'm 100, and I know what it's like to have no money. So both those things don't sound appeasing or appealing to me. I guess I would rather have unlimited money and die in 30 days, and I probably would use it for good rather than hookers and blow because that's just how I am as a person.
Very nice.
Would you get Brad Pitt to feed you food though?
I absolutely would. I have unlimited money, so I would do the things that all I have to do is say, "Oh yeah, I want to do this, this, and this, and this." Brad, I need another bite.
It'd be fun to say like Brad, hey Brad, come over to my house right now and feed me this pizza. And he'll say no. And you say, I'll give you $1 million. And he'll say, no, I got money. And you say, I'll give you $1 billion. And he'll be like, no. And you say, I'll give you 150 trillion.
Exactly.
Everybody has their breaking point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just slap some pizza in my mouth, Brad. Okay, shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll take the 30 days.
All right, there you go. So that will bring to an end another scintillating edition of Would You Rather. So we got one more thing to do. We got final thoughts. Yes, sir. Final thoughts for episode 47. Who wants to start?
Slap in the bass, man.
Let's start with
Please tell me
Meeny,
someone
miny,
got
moe.
that movie reference.
Slipping the BS. Slipping the BS.
All
Yes.
right. Jordan, let's start with you, man. Final thoughts.
Okay, yeah, I'm a little tired. I'm a little delirious. For those of you who haven't gone to Dave's Barley Mow open mic on Maryville Road, get your butts down there. Fucking do your time. It's a great
Do your
crowd,
time.
great room. Fucking yeah, they talk about sharpening your teeth and all that in these fucking rooms and shit. Well, go to Barley Mow, come to the Mill Tavern, come enjoy these different style open mics. Barley Mow it's a nice room. You
great
get a
room.
nice little crowd. You don't have to have obnoxious 20-something-year-olds drinking, getting drunk off inexpensive alcohol. It's
You could have old people get drunk on inexpensive alcohol.
yeah, it's nice. So yeah,
It's nice.
Agreed.
that's it. I don't have too much going on. I'm in Brockville next week, and we'll have, I hope, another episode before then.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Excellent. Thank you, Jordan. Paul, let's go to you. Your final thoughts, episode 47.
My final thoughts are, Dave, watch John Wick 1. Just, that's it.
Yeah.
Just watch John Wick 1, and then I dare you to not be curious to watch John Wick 2 after that. Just watch John Wick 1.
Okay.
Please.
That's your final thought?
That's my final thought. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. My final thought is I will make a promise to Jordan, you, and to Paul, and to everybody watching. I will watch John Wick 1, and I will give a recap of the movie next episode. I promise.
That's amazing.
Most excellent.
That's
Most
amazing.
excellent.
Yes. I will give a full recap, and I'll give my thoughts. Yes.
I'm so happy.
So that's it. That's a start, right? It's baby steps.
And
Baby
you promised,
steps.
You promised too. So like
I made a
now I feel
promise.
like you have to.
I will actually, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to go watch John Wick 1 and baby steps. You got to be patient with me. I will try to come up to your pop culture level of pop culture knowledge. It's probably never going to happen.
So many John Wick references are going to be dropped.
Yeah.
And I will promise I will drop.
Whoa.
I will drop 3 John Wick references next episode. With that said, thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everybody watching episode 47. Don't forget, let me flash this up again. We got episode 50 coming up Sunday, March 9th, 7 p.m. live. We are going to celebrate with some special guests. It's going to be a great time. So make sure that you tune in for that. With that said, thank you all. I'm going to go watch some movies, and we will see you all next time.